Marky Worthington Podcast all day.
All day.
Dream by night.
Don't buy me a drink. Just give me $10.
All day.
Go down to the strip club with your floppy disk and turn it into a hard drive.
Yeah, right. You'll get fucking thrown out by Big Tony.
We're here to name names and make people feel more ashamed for shit that they're not proud of.
Don't blow it. Keep it simple. Count your money.
Oh, whatever it is.
All right, welcome to the Marky Worthington Comedy Podcast. This is episode within the 60s. I think it's like 66 or something, actually. Yeah, and here with a buddy of mine. Let's introduce yourself, man.
I'm Hayden. This is my dog, Dr. Watson. Yes, that's you, mate. You're on. Yeah, but a lot of people don't know me by my real name.
Yep.
So they know me as the Baron or the Captain or Bear or whatever.
Yeah.
So, the latest one, someone called me, because our band, I'm starting a band called Sonic Druid.
Yep.
And a lot of people, recently, I was at the basement actually.
Yeah.
And someone said
That's
to me.
where we met, for anyone that
That's it.
know,
Where we met. And we're talking about your bike.
Yep.
And getting your license and that.
Yep.
And someone said to me, this is the Baron. And the chick said, what's your real name? And what's his real name? And he said to her, it's so funny, I've known him for like 5 years and I don't know what his real name is. So I said, it's Hayden. And he's like, Hayden? What? So, most people just know me as the Baron.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, I mean, within lockdowns and all that sort of shit, I seen people online more than I seen them in person. So when we first started coming out to gigs and shit, I had to fight myself accidentally calling people by their Instagram names.
That's classic.
I seen one of my mates who's a comedian,
Yep.
and his name's Dane Simpson, and I called him the Dane Simpson because that's his fucking Instagram name. And I was like, the Dane Simpson.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
The Hayden Jenkins.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Marky Worthington.
Yeah, people that have got like a common name that everyone uses. You just got to have a few underscores and a 6 in there or something.
You always put a 6, don't you?
Yeah. Dude, I was thinking the original reason that we sort of thought we may as well have a chat is because of how often we get asked beard questions. Yep. I may as well just address it at the top. This is a very visual episode, so if you're listening, there's audio of this.
Yep.
You'll still get something out of it, but if you've got the time, listeners should definitely go over to YouTube to watch this episode.
Yeah. Because
a lot of this is visual. The funniest thing is because I work at the basement, people know this. You came in.
Yep.
Watch bands.
We're Beard Brothers.
Yeah, Beard Brothers. And the amount of time someone would come to the bar, and they'd be like, I remember your drink, I pour it, that sort of stuff. Like, you didn't even ask him for a drink. I was like, oh yeah, that's my Uncle Hayden. People would just believe it. It's like whenever Joel from Witch Skull comes in, I always just go like, oh, yeah, that's my old man, I just get him as usual. Anyone with a beard, they just think that we're related.
Yeah, he's got an epic beard too.
He's really good.
Yeah, top bloke. He's got a Jack Russell.
Yeah, right. So I do another podcast as well called Canberra Metalheads, and he's been on that a few times.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, I knew him back in the early 90s, late 80s.
Yeah.
When he was, he's just a top bloke.
Yeah, no.
Him and his brother.
Yeah, no, Joe, I don't have a lot, I haven't really chatted to his brother as much, but I have done a lot of work with Joel over the years, just, gigs and that sort of stuff. And one of the best dudes I know in the scene. Yeah,
and the other thing is he, people say to me why is your daughter's band, which is Charlotte and the Harlots?
Yeah.
Why is Charlotte getting the supports with Witch Skull? They're like a punk band, and you got Witch Skull. I think Witch Skull. I know this is going to blow. People will be pissed off with me, but I think Witch Skull's a heavy rock band, stoner rock, doom, whatever. But the way that he plays, he's got a swing to his drums. He's a groovy drummer, man. You could dance to Witch Skull if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I love so much about him. You walk down the street, you're not going to be humming, as you're walking down the street, you could hum a Witch Skull song.
Oh, dude, the amount of times that I'd be just have like a Witch Skull lyric stuck in my head.
Yeah. And they're so welcoming. Like they have really supported Charlotte's band. And they're so cool. They said that they came up. He said, "Look, Hayden, I don't usually say this, but your daughter's band, they got the best manners. You've done a good job." I said, "Fuck, mate, I'm an asshole." They've turned out pretty good. But so they've really supported them. So is I'm in a band with Adam Aegis, who's another sort of the Canberra metal scene.
Yep. I
met him years and years ago with Alchemist and all that, because my cousin, I used to come down every school holidays. And I had a band there called Self-Inflicted, and then it was Treebeard. And Adam and I, we ended up getting together and forming Turbo Belko, doing for my 40th, we did a Turbo Belko show, which was Turbo Negro covers. And then we pretty much became the Australian Turbo Negro show, you know what I mean? Yeah. But then they got back together. But we're still doing, we've got a show coming up. But Adam, he recorded Charlotte when she was 16. Yeah. Recorded all her songs in his home studio. Another band that's really supported. Young up-and-coming bands. When I was a young bloke playing in bands, you're like a fucking... Oh,
you can swear on this shit.
You're like a fucking gang. Yeah. So, you had mates in other bands, sure, and bands come up and looked after you, but other bands, you'd hate Brisbane bands. I had fucking a Blue with the dudes from Powderfinger, who now are nice guys. But back then, it was on, But in Canberra, and this is what I love about Canberra, whether it's the metal scene, anything, Charlotte's band will play, and there'll be metal dudes out in the crowd, shaved head, long beards. Yeah. The guys that, are my age, which is nearly 50. Yeah. And your sort of age. Yeah, all your uncles. all the tribe. All our clan. And then, Witch Skull gets them to play, or they've played with Pilots of Balback and all this sort of stuff. Yeah. And, and that, the thing with Canberra bands, what I love, and especially the Basement, is you can go see a show... Yep. And there's not 24 doom bands. Yeah. What's the fucking point of that? You know what I mean? And there's no chicks in the crowd. There's about 9 chicks in the crowd. Yeah. And, but, I'm not bagging it, but I'm just saying I love that music. But the thing is, what I love about Canberra scene is they will have Charlotte and the Harlots. Yeah. They will have, another band playing with Witch Skull. Yeah. And, and they're so helpful. They really, they gave Charlotte and that, really good advice on, before shows, or how to do stuff quickly, or what you do on tour, and, when you sign a deal, not to get scammed, all this sort of stuff. They didn't have to do that. Yeah. Adam's the same. They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to help them out like that, and they're just so giving, and that's something, and, people might say, oh, but our scene's like that. I know Melbourne is, but I know this for a fact, is the Canberra metal dudes. Yeah. It's not a metal scene to me. It's a Canberra music scene. Yeah. Brad from Pod People. Yeah. He was doing fucking rap. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a bit of everything, yeah.
Yeah, so, I've known
see
Brad.
That as well, yeah.
Yeah, I've known Brad for years. That my first meeting is I went on tour with Tumbleweed. Yeah. I met Brad because he was mates with my little sister, who went out with the drummer from Alchemist. Mm-hmm. And I met Brad. He had really long hair. And he's like, hey, man, do you want to smoke a bong? I said, I don't smoke, man. He goes, what? And so I stole a couple of bottles of Coopers from the uni bar. And we went out. He sat down in the quadrangle. There's packed people everywhere. All you could see was flannelette shirts everywhere. Sat down. And I don't know where he pulled it from, was this gigantic bong. Yeah. He was like, hey, it was like the TARDIS jacket. Yeah. He pulls it fucking out. And he's like, you sure you don't want him? I'm like, I was flipping out. Where I come from in Queensland that time, the cops would beat the shit out of you if you had a cut-off hose in your fucking car. Yeah. So he lights up, he's smoking this bong in the middle of the quadrangle, legs crossed in the lotus pose. And I'm there drinking Coopers, just thinking, fuck, how good's this? Yeah. And nothing's changed. He's still a fucking loose unit.
Holy fuck, dude.
I got plenty of those stories from back in the day.
So, I had a story from that area. So, I went out to watch Stand Alone
Yep.
At ANU.
Yep.
And I was walking out, and a bunch of blokes are kind of like behind me, but one of them comes forward, and I don't know, I'm a young punk kid, I got a fucking mohawk, and I'm just cruising through. I'm a metal punk kid.
Yeah.
Wearing a Dark Throne shirt, but still got a punk haircut,
That's good.
Yeah. And the fucking shirt still doesn't fit me, but anyway.
It's shit how they shrink over the years, isn't it?
Yeah.
All my good shirts are shrunk too.
Yeah, I used to buy shit 3 times too big when I was a kid, and it's too small for me now still. So I'm cruising through there, and this bloke comes.
It's your body hair, mate.
That's what it is.
That's what I tell my missus. It's my body hair because it buffs out, so I become an extra large.
Got like I feel like for some reason I'm more hairy around the midsection.
Yeah, me too. Well, it's to keep you warm. That's the padding. We're like seals.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's a land seal. Check him out.
Yeah. Exactly.
He's got a skull. Look, one. That's his skull on his back.
Yeah.
Phantom skull.
Phantom.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm walking through there, and this bloke comes up to me, and he puts his arm around me, and he goes, "What are you doing, mate?" I said, "I just finished up at the gig." I'm not sort of looking at him. I'm just a 19-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And I look over, and he's got like fucking heaps of face tattoos and shit, and a shaven head.
Yeah.
And I was just like, just fucking cruising home, man. I'm trying to like avoid this dude, and I turn around, and there's like a fucking about 5 other dudes behind me.
Yeah.
All skinheads. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, here we go. I said, I'm just, about to head. I got work tomorrow. And he goes, what do you do? And I said, I just work in retail. And I'm like, what do you do? Trying to keep it cool? He's like, I annihilate cunts. And I was just like, fucking hell, here we go.
Is that on his business card?
Well, I'll let you know if I need any work done.
What's your phone number? I've got something on next week. You can come and help me annihilate.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Fucking hell.
So anyway,
was he an older guy?
Yeah, he looked rough. He looked like, he looked like the after photo for like Don't Do Heroin. And,
before and after ice.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so as I'm thinking, how am I going to get out of this one?
Yeah.
Because I'm not drunk, but I had a couple drinks,
Yeah.
Actually, I had a ride home. The person I was there with, they were there with the... I went there with the organiser and their friend, right? As soon as the band finished... No, halfway through the last band, they fucked off. And I'm like, well, do I get a cab and watch the last band, or do I fuck off early? And I made the call to stay. Yeah. Because I'm not leaving before the end.
No.
So that's why I was walking, because I was fucking...
And you're by yourself?
By myself as well. And of all fucking things, and I didn't know him at the time, we later became like a lot tighter, but someone comes over, puts their arm around me on the other side and goes, "Hey man, come on, the car's back this way," and gets me away from him, and I look up and it was fucking reggae. And
that's cool.
So that we jump in the car, and he drives out to the basement, because it was at ANU. But ANU, you ever seen the fucking back in the day? Yeah, not really back in the day, but like back in my day, not your day, but my... Yeah. So,
not when I went to the Nirvana show and they pushed all the glass in and there was blood everywhere.
Yeah. And everyone fucking claimed it was them that kicked it in.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, there's 900 people that said they did it.
Yeah, and... like any...
I'm pretty sure I think I know who did it.
Yeah, I out of everyone that told me that did it, I know one that was the most believable.
Yeah.
Apparently that was only because underneath the windows was like all dry rotted, so they've just kicked it. That's how they got in.
Yeah. It's pretty loose.
Yeah.
I saw him play up at Fisherman's Wharf in Brisbane, down in Byron. Yeah, so it was pretty big.
So that's how I sort of became mates with reggae, because what happened was at 12 o'clock, as soon as the last band finished, all the rollers shut down at the bar, and they were like, all right, now fuck off. Right,
yeah, okay.
So everyone...
So you're on your own? It's like a fucking Western town.
Yeah, even if you're still getting a drink, fucking roller just shut on your hand. My drink's on the other side of the roller door. You feel like Indiana Jones trying to roll under it. So
Good, and you had, instead of getting your hat, you got your mohawk and pull that thing through.
yeah. Fucking ponytail. He was like, "Oh, let's go. This place is all fucking shut up. Let's go to the basement and have a couple drinks." So yeah, we did that, and that's how we've been mates ever since.
He's a cool guy too.
The fucking scene just seems to help each other out, even if you're not at home ground. People look after each other and that sort of shit.
I had a similar situation like that and got stabbed.
Oh shit! Tell me that.
Yeah, here. When I was a young bloke, I used to, because I had red hair and I was a bit, I was fat. You learn to fight pretty good, or use humour to stop bullying.
Yeah. I've done both.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So
my flight went a long time ago, so I had to.
Yeah, I think it's just because you're born with that the dreaded ginger gene.
Yeah.
Which equals rage as well. Which sadly,
red. They're like Toro to a ball. They see red and they.
Yeah, it's like like I know that I've got Norwegian Viking in me, but mainly from our people come from Wales and that.
Yeah.
But yeah, my kids, like my eldest daughter, my middle daughter, my oldest daughter's a friggin' fierce woman. My middle daughter Charlotte and Jack, I've all taught them how to do Wing Chun and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Charlotte's a bit more radical than the rest of them.
Yeah.
Jack's the quiet achiever. But yeah, when I was out one night, I think I was taking the Beards after one of their shows.
I've seen them a day and you as well.
Yeah.
The
Well,
last
that
show
might have
they
been.
did.
Oh, okay. Well, this was back when I'm pretty sure they played the bloody front.
Yeah.
Like right at the early I can't remember now. Anyway,
they did Queanbeyan a few times and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, but it was at the place that I would love to burn down, which probably get in trouble for, but I fucking hate moose heads.
Yeah, right. Well, they fucking close. They burnt down fucking
the front.
No, they burnt down the Phoenix.
Yeah. Sorry, that's what I meant. The Phoenix. Yeah. I used to love that place.
I've done comedy at the front and at the Phoenix actually. Yeah.
That lampshade's from the Phoenix.
Yeah, right.
And I've got the lamp in there.
Yeah.
But our band played there a fair few times. We held the record there when the Turbo Belco played the second time. There was lineups around. The bar got sold out. They had to get more. People were freaking out. There's no grog. We were giving the bands grog off the stage. The roof was sweating. But yeah, so I left there, and I think I still had. Oh no, I didn't still have Turbo Belco makeup on. But anyway, what happened was these blokes with like weird haircuts, shaved with lines in it and shit.
Yeah.
Said to me, "Oh, you need a haircut there, bro." I just turned around and I said, "Fuck off, look at yours." I said, "Jesus." I said, "Look at that shirt, like nice shirt. Do they make them for blokes?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and he didn't like that.
Classic insult, yeah.
And I was a little, I'm not a big guy.
Yeah.
These guys were big, full of fucking, young, dumb, and full of cum.
Yeah.
And they were all like, wanting to pick on an old fat guy.
Yeah.
Hairy guy. Anyway, so one of them hit me in the back of the head.
Like punch. Yeah, fuck.
And that was a bad move.
Yeah.
Because my head's like about that thick.
Yeah.
And, this head went through a windscreen of an FC Holden and the steering wheel broke them both. Fuck. So, that's how I got the brain damage. But yeah, I've got like a thick cranium.
Yeah.
Size 61. And I turned around and I just had my belt off as quick as I could, wrapped around my arm and just went bang and punched him. And then, got my phantom ring. Hopefully he's got a scar on his face. Anyway, so someone's bang, hit me. I was punched. I went, oh. And, ended. The cops came. There was one guy on the ground. I accidentally stepped on his hand a few times.
Yeah.
I kept on accidentally stepping on both hands.
Yeah.
And they were going to take me to court, they reckon. Anyway, turns out I've been stabbed.
Fuck.
So I've been stabbed twice.
Shit.
Yeah, I got stabbed there too.
Yeah, really?
That was at the Coolangatta Pie Shop.
Fuck.
It was just, there was guys that go out...
It wasn't Sweeney Todd's pie shop?
Well, it's just because I stand out probably.
Yeah.
And, if someone says something, I'm not going to, I just give it back to them because, I'm an old cunt now. I don't give a shit about that fucking crap,
Yeah.
Anyway, what they do is they go out and try to fight drunk people.
Yeah, right.
And they stupidly pick me, and they didn't realise how, like I'd been called up for about 4 years of rage.
Yeah.
And, once again, punched in the back of the head, got something like, I think it was a Carlton draft bottle in the back of my head.
Yeah.
Like, what a shit beer to drink.
Yeah.
For one. And I said, mate, if you're going to hit people with bottles, you better use something that's a bit thicker. And they were just like, whoa, nothing happened. Anyway, I found out, 3 weeks before that, an off-duty cop got killed there.
Fuck.
Yeah, by getting a king hit.
Shit.
Anyway, the king hit me, didn't go down. I broke a heel off my boot and all that. And then the cops were coming. The pie shop guy grabbed me and he said, H, come on, get out of here. And he gave me like 5 curry pies because that's my favourite. That's another nickname I've got, the Pie Man.
Dude, fucking curry pies are my favourite.
Well, we should do a short tour around this area and do some pie testing.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and we could, do a pie blog.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, mate, like, to me, a pie is like another food group.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so he gave me all these pies and a couple of snot blocks, vanilla slices.
Yeah.
So he put me out the back, put me in a taxi, and I went home. And the girl, I went to my mate's house, and she's like, Hayden, what the fuck? And all my shirt, because I only wear black shirts because it makes you look slimmer.
Yeah.
So it hides the rolls. Anyway, so she goes, what the fuck? Anyway, yeah, been stabbed.
Fuck, dude.
And I think it was like a little sharpened screwdriver or something.
Yeah, fuck.
But the hospital were like, fuck, man, you're so lucky.
Dude,
So that's why people call me a cat. Yeah. It's like it's like cops always pull me over.
Yeah, yeah.
And look at me. I look like an innocent guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And I always tell them, I say to them, look, bikies don't look like me anymore, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
Bikies don't have long beards and that anymore. Yeah. They're clean shaven. They're wearing like $900 fucking sunglasses with lines cut into their head.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't even ride bikes.
Yeah, yeah.
And they smell nice.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So like they don't look like me anymore, but I still get pulled over at least every 3 weeks.
It's the stereotype, man.
Yeah.
It's like the thing. It's like I'll tell you a story. So I was working at the bar one night, and 2 female police officers came in.
Yeah.
And normally they don't run 2 females together.
No.
And they both came up to the bar, and they're like, "G'day."
Looking like they're in the military with all their black shit on.
Yeah, and I was just like, "G'day." And I thought, because it was one of the, it was a birthday gig. So I thought to myself, are these girls like dressed up for this thing?
Are they strippers?
Are they strippers or something? So,
oh dear.
They come up to the bar and they're just like, g'day mate. I'm like, oh, you here for the birthday boy? Yeah, he's just out the back. And they go, what? And I was just like, the birthday boy. You're here for the birthday boy. And I'm still
What's
thinking...
in the chairs?
Dude, I'm still thinking that they're dressed up. So I'm literally looking like, fuck, they did a good job. These guns look really legit and stuff. They fucking... I nearly found out how real the taser was for a second. So I'm midway through this conversation and I look over and it wasn't the officers that made me realise. It was... about maybe 10 metres away, there was the third copper, which was the bloke.
Oh, okay.
And he was a fucking gorilla of a man.
Yeah.
With these 2 girls. And I was just like, oh. And I looked over and I was just like, oh, the birthday boy, you want to speak to the guy that's running the show tonight? It's his birthday today. So I go out, I get the owner. And he comes out and he's like, he just comes out and he just chats to him. And, they're just like, just doing a routine check-in, nothing bad or anything. Just thought I'd check everything's going okay. And it's like, yeah. And then they all fucked off and he came back in. I'm like, man, I nearly fucked that one.
I nearly got pepper spray.
I did. I literally was just like, fucking damn. Like, I'm shooting the shit, I'm just like, fucking hell, Like
trying to be calm.
Doing
house?
Hey, I'm just like,
I accept everything.
They're doing fucking house calls now, aren't they? So I was saying to one of the other bartenders, I was just like, fucking hell, I thought that they're about to try and do some like role play shit. Where it's just like, oh, now we'll watch, like, you know...
We'll drag him
Yeah,
down.
yes. Fucking...
Next minute.
Yeah. You ever wanted to watch
seen that.
You ever wanted to watch a bikie kick in a copper's back door?
Oh, fuck. Yeah. It's funny because, like, I got cops in my family as well. And, you know, like, I don't know why. Like, I got pulled over down here. I was one day out of Rego. Yeah. This young bloke's got a shit beard. Like, and he was, like, really aggressive to me. And I said to him, mate, how fucking tough must how proud must your parents be?
Yeah.
I never fight with cops because, you know, that's their job. But this guy was a dick.
Yeah.
I said, how proud your parents must be pulling over fucking disability pensioners, single mums, and everything for being one day out of Rego, or that, you know, the kids are mucking up in the back. Why don't you go out and catch some more fucking cops? Yeah. And he goes, well, Mr. Jenkins, yes, I'll take that on board. Gave me the ticket things and said, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I said, and as I was driving away, and I yelled out and I said, and you still got a fucking shit beard, mate. My son's 16, he's got a better beard than you. The old bloke, the old sergeant guy was in the car watching all this, and he was like laughing, you know, like suck shit. Yeah. Anyway, never turned up.
Oh, right.
So I never got fined.
Yeah.
And then I saw him again when Charlotte's, when there was a big sort of riot, semi-riot thing when she was playing with pissed idiots at the uni bar there, and we had to sit down even though the laws had all changed. Went outside, and cops can have beards now.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know, they were trying to arrest one of the band because he was drunk and you know, you know, what do you call it? Anyway, being a smart ass.
Disorderly or whatever the fuck.
And I pulled him away and started talking beards to the cops.
Yeah.
They fucking love it.
Yeah.
And they asked me questions about, you know, that. One of the ones was about how I trim my hair.
Yeah.
And I said to them, they said, oh, how do you get it to be perfect like that? And I said, well, I learned off an old bloke who taught me about beards because my dad had a lot of blokes with beards working for him.
Yep.
Like bikie guys.
Yeah.
But one of my best friends, Timmy Graham, who did that painting over there, his father, who's passed away now, called Bubba Louie. Yeah. He was like a famous dude from the surf scene back in the 60s.
Yeah, right.
Had an awesome beard, you know, had the haircut. He looked like, he looked better than Grizzly Adams, if that's possible. And he taught me about beards. And what he said was, when you cut it, what you do is you go like that. Yeah. Right? You smile. Yeah. And then you cut it to where you want it. Because I always have mine so it goes over so I don't get sunburnt and shit. Yeah. And go like that. You just smile and cut it. Yeah. And it becomes, when it drops, it's perfect.
It's perfect, yeah.
I told the cop that and he's like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then about 3 weeks later, I got pulled over going out to Tuggeranong to, what is it, North Coomera or South Coomera?
Yeah.
And he pulled me over, and anyway, he recognised me, and we just talked about it, like, you know, and he didn't bust me. He just said, just get your tail light fixed.
Yeah.
So he was a really cool guy. So
that's fucking cool, man.
Yeah, it's good you can, beards, as we were talking about before, I just thought of it, how beards sort of, you know, you cross into, like, I know it sounds weird, but, like, it's almost like you're part of the same sort of clan, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talk about beards, and he can be, a cop. But next minute you're having a laugh and he's stopping people so you can back your car in to get the amps out and that, you know?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, eh?
Man, I put because I knew this episode was coming up. I put a couple of shout outs to try and get some questions, but it was all just the regular stuff. So basically, I'm just going to answer all the shit which everyone always asks. Yeah. I've been growing my beard since 2017.
Right.
No, sorry. I've been growing my beard for 7 years, and the year is 2022. So 2015 is when.
And do you ever trim it?
I get it. So when I first started growing it, I didn't trim it.
Yeah.
I just let it grow out to see what I had.
But you trim the sides a bit still.
But now every probably about 6 months, I get it all brushed out. I go to a barber. And he just, when it's all puffed out, it's pretty wide, and he just trims down either side. It's
pretty thick.
Yeah, and squares well, doesn't square it off, but just like takes about an inch off the ends.
Yeah, split ends and shit.
Yeah, and I just I get it trimmed about the same rate as it grows now, and this is about the length I keep it.
Right. Yeah, well, see, I don't have it that long, as we talked about before, because like if I'm surfing or fly fishing, it gets caught in my friggin' zippers and my fly line like this. Yeah. So I always have it a bit bit shorter. But as I said before, I lost my beard the last time I had cancer.
Yeah.
So when it grew back,
Yep.
it was different.
Yeah, right.
So I've had a beard of some kind since I was 18. No, 19, 20.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got a photo I can even show you if you want.
Yeah, yeah.
Of me with my first full beard when it was growing in. Like in the 90s, I always had massive side levers, or what I call a reverse beard. So I had a beard and then I'd just shave down there, and I'd have these massive mutton chops.
Yeah, yeah.
They used to get tangled up in my hair and shit.
Yeah.
And then I just had like a long goatee, and then I grew a full beard, and that was what was that, 92 or 93?
Yep.
And I got a photo of my partner there. It was when I would have been 20 then. And I was just growing in my first full beard. So I had that beard till I got cancer in 2000 so the second lot of cancer, so 2012, 2013, and I lost it. And when it grew back, it's really weird because I had, see here, it was cut to get all the cancer and my thyroid out. What they do is they lift this up and put it on your chin.
Fuck.
So I got home. I felt like I had no personality. It was weird.
Yeah.
My son was like, no, this was in 2010. He was like really upset.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to cry, but he goes, I know you're my dad, but you don't look like my daddy anymore, but I know you're my dad because you smell like my dad.
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, fuck. I had tears in my eyes and shit.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have a beard, and it was weird because I didn't feel like me.
Yeah, it's weird, eh?
You know what I
It
mean?
becomes
Like,
your identity.
yeah.
It's like an extension of you.
Yeah, and people say, oh, it's not that, just fucking shave it off. And I just feel like saying, well, you don't have a beard. You've never had a beard. It's like when you see people have shaved their beard off.
Yeah.
And they mightn't had one in years, but you know they had a mustache because their lip, after mustaches, they're always a bit fatter there.
Yeah, yeah.
You have a look at any TV presenter or whatever, cricketer that used to have awesome mustaches, you look at them now where it's shaved off, you can tell.
Yeah.
It becomes part of it. But anyway, when it grew back different.
Yeah, yeah.
So my beard now, I think, is wispy, right? Because it used to be like, you get your, it was copper wire, but now it doesn't grow like it used to. So what I always say to young blokes, I was just down at the shop year before, and there's a guy in there 16, like that's when I had my first sideburns at high school, and ginger guy, awesome beard, already 16.
Yeah.
Far out. I just thought, fuck, I'm going to go out the... I said, mate, good beard. There's another guy in there with a beard, wispy beard. But you know what? I always say, mate, awesome beard. And they just... Because it's another... so we don't have that in our society anymore where, you have older... A lot of these people, sadly, don't have, older male... role models.
Yeah, yeah.
Like one guy said to me, there was two blokes came up to me in Civic. I was having a pie and a Coke, and I was sitting there, and these two blokes came up to me and go, "Oh, mate, I love your beard." I said, "Oh, thanks, guys. I love your beard, And they're like, "Oh, yeah, we're growing it and we're doing this," and they're putting all this wax and shit in it and everything. I said, "Right. First thing is, don't shampoo your beard, right? Condition it, because they had all like beard drift.
Yeah.
I said, condition it, right? Just brush it, let the natural oils come through for a couple of days and condition it, right? So he's like, oh, thanks. He goes, oh, how long have you had your beard for? And as I said, I grew my first full beard when I was about 21. Yeah. 21. And they're like, oh, wow. So you've had a beard before it was cool. Yeah. And I just went from my pie and just went, mate, beards have always been fucking cool.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So... yeah, so I just thought, and anyway, 3 weeks later I saw that bloke. He worked in, I think he was working in the skate shop or something. And he goes, oh, mate, it worked. I got no shit in my, I don't have to wear a white shirt anymore and everything.
Yeah. Just makes all the difference.
It was just one little thing that I told him. Because a lot of people, one, they're too scared to talk to blokes with beards, one. And two, they don't have people that they've had in their lives that had beards. Like my dad, when he grew a beard, he had 2 ginger tusks. Yeah. But he had black. Yeah, yeah. Dark, black, tan skin, but he had 2 ginger tusks. Yeah. So, like it's, nowadays, there's a lot of guys with beards, which is awesome. But, back in the day, like even now, sadly I had to catch a bus one time because the Land Rover was off the road. Yeah. And when I catch public transport or whatever, the old ladies always sit next to me.
Yeah, yeah.
And they'll say, oh, I love a man who wears a beard.
Yeah, yeah.
Wears a beard, you know. And a lot of people you'd think would be scared to sit next to me.
Yeah.
But my partner said it's probably because they know that no one's going to hassle them if they're sitting next to you.
Yeah, yeah, maybe.
I never thought of that. I thought they were sitting next to me because they thought I looked like a nice guy.
Yeah, yeah, no. I thought they sat next to me because they thought that we're related and they forgot who they were.
Yeah. Well, my missus won't let me cut my beard.
Yeah, yeah.
Like she, you know, her heroes, we grew up watching Grizzly Adams.
Yeah, yeah.
I always wanted a beard when I was a young bloke. And tattoos, I used to get those lick bubblegum tattoos, and I'd make full sleeves out of them. Yeah. Join them all together. There's photos of me on my BMX bike with my Kiss shirt, like, you know. Thinking I'm hard, like I'm, you know, out of Rose Tattoo or something.
Dude, I found an old family video. I've got one like it's like
you're a good boy, aren't you?
It's a bit like it's the white tiger climbing up the side, like that traditional style one. Yeah, dude, it's a bubblegum one, and I put it on my pec, like right there, and because my cousins had a pool. Yeah. And Dad's just filming the old fucking family videos, you know. And we're all inside in the my auntie had this like long kitchen at the end. There was the breakfast table. Yep. So we'd go for a swim and we'd come in and then she'd just have like fucking snacks on that table. We'd just have a feed. I'm leaning in the doorway with me fucking shitty bubblegum tattoo on me pec. And I'm just like, Dad's filming, and I'm like trying to fucking turn so the camera can see it, you know what I mean? And I'm probably about, I don't know, probably like 8, 10 years old, dude. And I think I'm the hardest fucking dude ever.
Yeah, and that's it. Like, because I grew up with people that had tattoos, like my grandfather was in the Navy in World War II, and he had this awesome Indian head. Like I've got on my back, I got the exact same one. That was my first tattoo. Yeah, right. And I got that when, you know, the Rose Tattoo song where he says, I got my first tattoo when I was 16. The rebel had lost his teenage queen. Yeah. That happened to me.
Yeah, right.
So I got a tattoo when I was in year 12. Yeah. Or maybe year 11. Yeah, yeah. I went in, a guy called Suicide did it for me. And, was the Indian head. I showed him a photo of my grandfather's one. He just did it by hand. Fuck. And that would have been 89, 90, I think. Yeah. And then I got some other ones. My dad didn't know I had tattoos, right, because he was against them. Yeah, yeah. He reckoned bikies and criminals only got, even though he used to hire bikies and, you know, work for him and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, you can't beat good
good
workers. Yeah.
No, they taught me, you know, they taught me how to be a man. Plus Grizzly Adams, Clint Eastwood, and Harrison Ford. Yeah, yeah. You know, and so
the trio.
Yeah. So I had this really bad motorcycle accident where my bike went 100 metres down the road, burst in flames. I had only just 2 weeks earlier got a new helmet given to me by my stepmom. I went 50 metres, landed on my head. The helmet split open right out the front of this 21st birthday party. I was lucky there was doctors and shit there, and they ran out. And I wanted them to take my helmet off. Yeah. They wouldn't, right? Because, you know, your head might. Yeah. Anyway, because what happened was a carload of islanders, a massive Ford with about 20,000. There would have been about, I won't exaggerate, 9 islanders in it. Yeah. So it was full. You know, came out and I veered to miss them.
Most cars are full with one islander in it.
So I came out and I went to miss him, went through the fork of a tree. Like it was like I should have died. This is the first time that I've cheated.
One of your first life. Yeah.
And my dad said to me later, a couple of weeks later when we went to the accident site, he said, H, don't ever buy a lotto fucking ticket because you've won the lotto and you won't win it again.
Yeah, fuck.
So, but I was in hospital and they had to like, you know, they have to, because I only had broad shorts, and they scrubbed it all the gravel out, and I still get bits of gravel.
Was that here in Canberra?
No, it was up on where I come from on the Tweed. Yeah. It was at the back of Kira there, and scrubbed all and I still get bits of gravel coming out of my leg now. After the car accident with the FC, I still get bits of glass coming out. If you have a look there's that lump. Yeah. That's one coming out. Yeah. So I just nick it and I just squeeze it out, pull the glass out. Still comes out. I've got it in my face too. So
being from an FC though, that glass is probably worth more now.
Yeah. Well, if anyone wants to buy anything, I've got a shit ton of FC parts and Holden parts. But
what is this? The car dealers podcast? It's counting cars. Yeah. Fucking Denny the County.
Also,
Fast and loud.
my daughter's band's got a new album coming out. It's come out.
Yeah.
And they're going on a national tour. There, I had to do that. little
Yeah,
plug
good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but that was...
Was that the clip that I have to use now? Yeah.
Well, I'm just so proud.
Yeah, no, that's really good stuff, man.
Yeah.
I was actually going to ask to circle back to the FC thing because, I always... I like to when I have conversations on the podcast, I mean, I sometimes will finish it offline, but I want to always make sure that anything I start on the podcast, we always wrap it up.
Yeah.
Because I'll get messages like, whatever happened to that thing?
Yeah, I'm jumping all over the place because I've got fucking... One part of my brain works here, then I got another bit here.
Yeah. Dude, I'm all over the place too. I actually have a bit where I'm like, I got ADHD HD.
Yeah.
Because it's in high definition.
Yeah,
It's like fucking...
We take speed to slow us down.
Yeah. It's like...
That's one of Charlotte's lyrics in her song, actually.
Yeah.
Take speed to slow me down.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, man. Like, I've always struggled keeping a linear fucking thought pattern. But part of
we know our own kind.
Yeah, true. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I'm all over the place. And I think that's what helps me with my comedy because I write shit like that.
Yeah.
Like a tangent, it's like one of these sayings, it's not the destination, it's the journey.
Yeah.
So I'll use the conversation, the linear conversation is what I use to branch off for all the side tangents and shit. Yeah. It's why I never really liked playing massive games where there's too many side quests because I just get overwhelmed.
With D&D and stuff.
Yeah. There's just because not only do I start all these side quests, I want to finish every one of them. Yeah. So it's fuck. I just need to close everything off. It's
fucking exhausting being us.
It's weird, yeah. I feel like I'm looking into a fucking mirror in the future.
Mate, this is you when you're 50.
It's like the at least I'll have a cool dog.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he rules. Look at him. Hey, he's like a human. Good boy.
Oh, look at him.
Hey.
Yeah. It reminds me...
The land seal.
It reminds me... Have you ever seen that movie Merlin with Sam Neill?
Yes.
And it shows him over the years?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's this scene in there where he looks in the mirror and speaks to himself in the future. May as well be fucking right there. Shit. But
you got this to look forward to, mate. Look at me. Hey? I'm a hunk of spunk.
Oh, man, it's that reminds me of that scene from Chopper where he meets up with Neville outside of the thing. He's like, fucking look at me, mate. I'm fucking flying.
I'm ruling.
Yeah, I'm fucking flying,
That's
mate.
a great movie.
Such a good movie. And then they even they all start doing coke and they sped the scene up so it looks like you're on coke.
Yeah.
Just sitting there like, fucking hell. I just have a fat cell of coke that just burnt in my body and now I'm fucking tripping. It's like people that do acid and you just sit there you never know when that's going to kick back in again.
Mate, I can't eat mushrooms.
Yeah.
Because where I grew up, mushrooms were just having a beer.
Yeah.
And if I eat a mushroom now, when you feel a bit sick and you get that squirt that comes up from your throat?
Yeah.
It's sort of makes me fucking get a bit triggered. So, I don't even drink.
Yeah. Your body just says fuck that.
Yeah, that goes, no, I don't want to go there again.
It's like my buddy had a vitamin pill.
Yeah.
And he just puked it back up. And I was just like, what the fuck is that? Because my body just must have known it was too healthy. He literally, he had that, he had some food, he had a drink, he only puked up the vitamin pill, dude. You have a vitamin pill and a fucking big breakfast, and his body just goes, well, you don't need that anymore.
Yeah. It's like when I try to give him a tablet. Even if I crush it up, you leave all the food around, and then he goes, and just spits it out. And said, come on, Dad, try harder.
Try harder than that.
Please flip over the tape to side B to hear the rest of this podcast.
You look at all these people that go missing on the... Because I used to hitchhike everywhere,
yeah.
right, when I was a young bloke.
Yeah.
Skate, hitchhike, down to the ocean, down to the beach, because I lived up on Blamble Heights, which was, about 20 k's away from the beach. So I'd skate down the hills, hectic, and then I'd hitch and, I had heaps of times people said, oh, why don't you come back to my house? And when I was selling green peas, knock on the door, walk in and they're like, what the fuck? And people are all turn around and it looks like they're, black-eyed children sort of people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've seen some weird shit up there.
That's fucking crazy.
But when I lived up in Cooma, which I love, by the way, in the mountains. Yeah, I've seen some. You meet some weird people up there as well.
The mountain people.
Yeah, just like.
That's what Marcus from Witch Skull calls people from Ainsley. The mountain people.
He's witchy ass.
Yeah, dude.
I love how he pulls like the energy and shit out of the ether and just like puts it into his guitar.
Yeah,
I said to my mate, that's not made up. That's fucking real shit.
That's not stage stuff. Yeah. That's I actually wanted to do like an occult episode of like Witch Skull, because I know like Tony and Marcus are into it. Joel said not so much, but like that's one of those cool things, man.
Yeah,
like,
well, I got right into it. My mum is a psychic,
Yep.
and she's done it for like 30, 40 years. People come and see her and shit.
Yeah.
You know, she was pretty witchy. My daughter's a witchy.
Yeah.
And I come from a witchy type family. You know, we've got like, even back in Wales, you know, my great-great-great-grandmother had like this iron flint thing that she put into stuff, and she was like what they call a wise woman, you know, which would be a witch. But, I got right into it when I was young because I just wanted to know about it. I became a Mason to fucking know about it.
Yeah, just to
you know,
learn
because
stuff.
I just want to learn about it, you know, like, because we had it in our family.
Yeah.
So I'm a member of Yass Lodge of Concord, and people go, oh, you can't talk about that. Fucking, why not?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
why wouldn't I?
Yeah. So, you know, Marcus and that, you know, but he's right into it.
Yeah. No, it's it comes out in a lot of their music and shit as well. Yeah. It's have you seen the video for Breathing Blue Light?
Oh yeah. That's my favourite song.
Such a fucking great video.
When I'm getting amped up, like if I want my Land Rover to go faster when I'm going fishing, I just put that on and it makes the car go faster.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking powerful music. Watson gets all jacked up and wants to fight big dogs when he listens to it.
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, dude.
But the video clip's awesome with that chick dancing and that.
Yeah. And the like, because when I was talking to Tony, he's like, you might not know. Yeah, he's like, you might not know this, brother, but those shadows, they're like fucking 60 feet tall, man. Yeah. I have to get him on the pod at some point, man.
Well, if we do that one on haunted houses and yowies and shit, I'd love to do that with you because, like, I started writing a book. I've got, I think, 62 stories about Canberra and the mountains and houses that I've lived in up on the Gold Coast, like weird shit happening up there, you know? Like the sound of Jack in the Box going through the house where the little kid died of polio. And, mate, that's a whole podcast in itself.
Yeah, that's a whole series in itself.
Well, and you know, you should talk to Tony as well, not only about that, but how he was a part of, like, the like when he was living in New York and that.
Yeah.
The up-and-coming rap. And hip hop shit, man. He was hardcore hip hop. It was all joined together.
He was talking about how he's seen like Anthrax at L'Amour's in Brooklyn for like a 10 fucking bucks, dude. Like back in the day, and that was an expensive ticket. Price, you know.
He's got some great stories.
He's got some crazy fucking stories, dude.
Yeah.
But
we should do one of those.
Yeah.
I'd love to do another
dude.
one with you.
Yeah.
Wanted
for sure.
to.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. Well, how about we'll leave that as a teaser. Yeah. We'll wrap up. We've just clicked over an hour. So
sorry, man.
Yeah, no, dude.
We didn't even get onto stuff that we wanted to
talk about. Let's pretty much look. I already answered my beard shit. Yeah. We peppered it through the episode. Yeah. You guys want to learn about beards? You gotta listen to the whole fucking episode.
Yeah, and if you want to, I'll give you one other hint too. Yeah. I've got it here. Get one of these. I call it the BFC, which is a big fucking comb.
Yep.
And it buffs your beard out. They're like $6. If you've got a wispy beard, if you want to, if you've got like copper wire like me, they work awesome. Doesn't pull your beard out. And the other thing is, if you want your beard to look fat, wear a black shirt underneath it.
Yeah.
Or
like the beards. You remember the beards had that shirt with the fucking beard on it?
Well, when I lost my beard, they printed one up for me with a ginger beard on it. I've got a photo of it somewhere and gave it to me.
Fuck
yeah. They were good guys. Have they broken up, have they?
Yeah.
Oh, man, they were fucking classic, those guys.
When I seen them for their last gig they opened for themselves. Do you remember that?
No, I didn't see that one.
No, so what they did is they actually went out...
You're getting his toys out of his fucking... Getting your toys, mate? Hey? We're talking beards.
Yeah.
Go.
They actually came out and did a opening set, went back, got changed.
No. Hey! You're making too much noise. Get up here. Sorry, mate. Come on.
Yeah, all good, man.
And he's so naughty, isn't he?
Yeah.
Sorry. So what they do?
They came out in suits and played like an intro set. Went away, got changed back into like jeans and t-shirt, and came back and did the beard set.
Oh,
but they
man,
did
that's
like
great.
a classical style, like fucking brass and like
right, cool.
like a completely different style of band, and then they essentially opened for themselves in a different costume.
Oh, that's a great idea.
But
that's like when we play with VBs. Half the VBs are in Turbo Belco.
Yeah.
So and then we come on, and the only thing that's different is they got all top to tail fucking denim and makeup. So it's like we're playing again soon too.
Yeah.
And Charlotte and the Harlots are going on a tour. I've got to slip that in there.
Yeah, for sure.
And their new album's out too, so it's got like guests of Coffin and people like that. They're using just quickly, everyone. They used in it, Ray from the Hard-Ons owned it.
Yeah.
They used the head that was used on all the first AC/DC albums.
Oh,
they
really?
used the bass head.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So the first bass player from AC/DC, who I can't think at this moment off my head, which is bad.
Yeah.
But Ray bought that head off him.
Yeah.
Ray from the Hard-Ons. And the kids used that on their album, who was recorded by Jay from Friends of Rom.
Yeah.
And they used that on my... So I said to my partner, I said to her, imagine this. We're listening to AC/DC because she loves AC/DC.
Yeah.
Bon Scott AC/DC. We're listening, it's 1991, we're listening to AC/DC. You turn to me and say, hey, guess what, Vanessa? In 28 years' time, my kid is going to record an album that is using that bass sound that we're listening right now, will be using the amp that created that.
Yeah. Mind blowing.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, gives me goosebumps just talking about
just
it.
thinking about that.
So, like, it's pretty, like, that's amazing. For me, that's huge.
Man,
I'm just super proud.
I'm pretty sure the only thing we didn't finish was tell us a bit more, like, about, what was the story behind the FC crash, man? Tell me that.
So, I used to restore old cars.
Yep.
So, I restored this FC Holden. I bought it from some people in Batlow, and when I went and looked in the glove box, I looked at the service book, and all through it had my dad's signature. So they used to drive from Batlow to Canberra here because my dad was the service manager of Commonwealth Motors and Les Eaton Holden.
Yeah, right.
So I just thought, fuck, I've got to buy it. So I bought it, I fixed it up, and it had spats on it and everything, and I hotted it up as much as, say, you could have done in like 1969, with like Jules Stromberg's, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, but it looked Mickey Mouse, and beautiful seafoam green, two-tone. So I'm driving around, and because I'm a fucking idiot, I never put seatbelts in it.
Okay.
Because you didn't have to, if it didn't have seatbelts, and if it was made before a certain time.
Yeah.
Me being an idiot, didn't put seatbelts in the car, even with my kids in it. Like, I'll regret it for the rest of my life. Anyway, so they were in the back. I was driving in the front. It was one of the hottest days in Canberra in June. I can't remember what year it was. I've come up to the intersection near Cranley here in Holt. And I'm turning. Next minute, this action bus comes flying around the corner there. Instead of stopping, he hit me. Threw the whole chassis out 15 centimetres.
Fuck.
I went through my head and my chest, broke the steering wheel of the FC Holden, which I've got in the shed there.
Yeah.
And then I went through the windscreen, pushed it out, and I was just like this.
Oh,
so
shit.
my kids got a little bit hurt, but not much.
Yeah.
So they were screaming. I get out of the car, and that was the first time I had a seizure. So that's why I had those seizures.
Oh, shit.
Is from the car accident.
Yeah, fuck.
But they only happen when I stand up.
Yeah.
So that's why I was, Anyway, so I'm on the ground. The ambulance come. The action bus guys, dragged the bus driver. He was crying, freaking out because he thought I was dead.
Yeah.
Across the road. Turns out he was being examined because he'd been driving drunk. Oh. So I tried to sue Action Buses.
Yeah.
And I lost everything. Oh. Lost all my savings, lost my home, everything.
Everything.
I was in a wheelchair for nearly a year on and off because of the damage to my spine. My spine's fused. like hectic pain. They say I've got brain damage, but yeah, that's when I forgot how to play guitar, read maps, do maths.
Jesus Christ.
So I had to learn to play guitar again, had to teach myself how to tie flies again. Took me about 3 years to get my license back because I had to go through all these tests to make sure that I wouldn't have it while I'm driving.
Yeah, yeah.
And Watson, Dr. Watson here, just from being with me all the time, he knows when I'm going to have a seizure and he warns me.
Yeah, yeah.
So what happened was I was living in Cooma at the time, and a mate of mine, we'd bought a house up in Cooma, and a mate of mine up there, he had a car place, and he said, right, because I was really depressed. So every day I would go down to his factory and I'd work on the car a bit. So I learned how to do like, proper welding, proper filling in stuff with like hot metal, and instead of bog and all that sort of stuff. So I learned how to rebuild the car. So in my mind, I thought if I rebuild the Holden, I would get better.
Yeah, yeah. Fix both.
I rebuilt the whole thing.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
Yeah.
I didn't get better, but I had the car again. I used to look at it all the time, and sadly, I only sold it a couple of years ago with my FC Holden. I sold my FC. I had two FCs, a black one that I saw it was like a rat rod, and then this green one. I sold it, and I sold my HQ. So now I just have...
What HQ? What kind?
It was just, they called it a vacationer.
Okay.
So I was two-tone. It was my ex-wife's grandfather's from New, and her nana had a Tirana. And I had an awesome Tirana back in the 90s, so did my partner Vanessa. She had like a two-door LJ, back then, I had her mum's got Monaro. She builds hot rods. She's built her own Harley from the bottom up. I think it's a 57. And yeah, she's right into cars. But then I just said, right, my son is into cars. He's bought and made this incredible Commodore. It was a year 2000. They only made 2,000 of them. There was like a centenary. What is it? Not centenary.
The 50 year.
Yeah, the change of the thing.
Yeah.
It's got its own colours and all that. He bought off this old bloke because he told the guy he wasn't going to stuff it around. He sold it to Jack because he knew he'd keep it, original and let him pay it off.
Yeah.
How good was that?
Fuck, yeah.
And so Jack's got that. So I've taught what I know because my dad was a mechanic.
Yeah.
What I know.
Same with my old man.
Yeah. But I'm just right into Land Rovers.
Yeah, cool.
So because my dad had a company called Ray Jenkins Motors.
Yep.
So I've owned so many cars, like a Bedford van. I put like an old 70s lounge in the back of it. Like FCs. I had like a Valiant. HJ Premiers, all this sort of stuff, mainly Holden stuff.
Yeah.
But the only cars I regret selling was a 1972 short wheelbase Land Rover that I had.
Yep.
That was used in the Snowy scheme. The Tirana.
Yep.
And the FC.
Yeah. Okay.
Out of all, and we worked it out. I've owned over 50 cars.
Yeah, yeah. It's not bad considering. I
Yeah,
think my old man's regretted every one of them.
Well, mechanics never fix their own cars, do they?
It's like the plumber that's got a fucked shitter.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
Like no one, like when you're
the
not
gardener
getting,
with a shit garden.
Yeah, yeah. When you're not getting paid to fix it, then you just have the shit one, right?
It's funny, like you see some mechanics, right? So my dad, he likes English cars. That's where I get it from.
Yep.
I just love Land Rovers because they've just there's not enough cars with personality on the road anymore.
No.
And he hates fixing cars, right? So he was working on cars before he started his apprenticeship, So then you've got like my partner's mum, Pauline, her partner. Now, he still loves fixing cars. He's got like incredible hot rods that has won all these awards, and his name's Graham. He's won all these awards. He's got beautiful, like the workshop in his house. You can eat off the floor.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got and just trophies from wall to wall, and this incredible hot rod. He's a Ford guy, but I still like him. You know?
Yeah.
But he's even got the hot rod in the bottom of his pool. No shit.
Yeah.
It's all mosaiced in the bottom of his pool.
Yeah.
And but he still loves it. Does your dad like fixing cars?
Yeah, he does it. That's
he
his
still does it?
retirement thing. Yeah, he's gone into semi-retirement and just works on cars now.
What sort of cars he's into?
Well, he mostly does anything 70s and below.
Good on him.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's always working on older sort of shit, and because that's what he learnt on.
Yeah.
So he's just going back to what he knows.
Well, the other car I regret selling was my Bedford. So I want to get another boogie van because I drive up and down from the Gold Coast all the time. So I'm sort of living half and half now.
Yeah.
Back home and here. So I'd love to get like a boogie van again because I've got a bubble window out there, got it all set to go, and I think I'll get like an old Army Land Rover again for the show, for the TV show, Beauty and Terror, and then I'll have that boogie van so I can chuck my board in the back.
Everything,
I can sleep in it. Watson wants it because he looks good in vans.
Yeah.
He loves them. So yeah, I'd get one of them, but yeah, they're hard to find now for a good price, you know.
Yeah, it's a bit like combis, man. They're fucking difficult to get, you know.
Oh, and just, you know, like they're worth so much money. Like if I'd kept, my dad said to me, if he did it all over again, he wouldn't buy real estate, he'd buy cars.
Yeah.
So he's got a storage business up on the Gold Coast, and he stores like yachts and Winnebagos and all that sort of shit. And he said, I'd just get a factory and full of cars. He's got this photo, which maybe next time we do a thing I can show you. So there was a big truck with all these cars on it going to the wreckers, right? Yeah. It's taken in about 72, whatever. So I was born in 72 and I was brought home in a HK Monaro silver mink, right? That's what I was brought home from hospital in. So all the photos of me with that.
Yeah.
So he said to me, there's this photo. So it's got a Model T Ford on it.
Yep.
It's got some old, like, crazy Dodgers.
Yep.
Old Holden, so it's got an FJ and FX Holden.
Yeah.
There's an FE on there. There was a mangled HT.
Yeah. All
Premier.
the fucking solid,
Yeah, and just all these other cars that, like, if you saw them now, you'd be like, oh, yeah, really awesome fucking Valiant.
Yeah.
All going a EA Holden, EA Ford that had been fucking totaled. They were all going to the wreckers to be crushed.
Yeah. My old man was saying that they had a 57 Chevy Bel Air.
Yeah, wow.
Up the back of their paddock.
Yep.
In the scrap heap.
Yep.
And the old man sort of was like, I might, do something with that one day. He went up there and it was like all fucking burnt out. And he was just like, what the fuck happened? No. He goes back to the house and me nan, she's a tough old broad.
Yeah.
She was a nurse in the Second World War.
Oh, yeah.
And tough, single
mum. You know how I feel about nurses?
Yeah.
They saved my life 3 times.
Yeah,
like,
well...
proper.
Yeah, so she's single mum of 7 kids or something?
Oh, mate.
Dude.
What a woman.
And she goes...
Fierce.
She goes, I've been using it as an incinerator.
Oh.
She's like, yeah, I just fill her up with garbage and chuck a match in it. So those
that's what it was like.
The thick metal panels, it doesn't travel, you know? Like, it's just... But yeah, that's how it was, man. But and it's funny you mentioned... So my old man was in an accident when he was younger, and he went through the windscreen of I think an F... no, it was a HK.
Oh, yeah. They're my favourite.
Yeah, but it was a Kingswood wagon.
Yeah, right, yep. Still got the Coke bottle kickouts.
Yeah.
In the back, the beautiful, but tail end in that.
Fucking... I'm pretty sure it was, but either way, it was... I don't know if it was a wagon or sedan. I'm pretty sure it was a sedan, because he's... A wagon, because that was his first car, was a wagon.
That's what I went halfway around Australia in as a...
He did it up under
under
a pepper tree with a tarp over the top of it, and did spray job everything.
Yeah, wow.
And he went through the fucking windscreen.
Yeah.
No seatbelt.
Yeah.
Woke up. Gets up, and the fucking steering wheel was wrapped around him.
Yeah.
And it split his bicep in half.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And he went back to the crash scene. And yeah, pretty much, I think he said there was 3. The guy next to him was on the side of the road, not in a good way, and the 2 in the back died. So
yeah, fuck.
And it wasn't even... So he was coming back from the pub wasn't drunk, or going to the pub maybe,
Yeah.
and whatever. He said he wasn't drinking, wasn't drunk, but the car that hit him was fucking head on. He was doing the speed limit. He was sort of
like what happened with me with the bus.
Yeah, just he wasn't doing anything wrong, and they just drunk driver straight in head on. Yeah. So fucking, it's crazy how things go, like full circle. But
I was in the ambulance because they laid me down on the ground, had ants all over me.
Yeah.
And because I hate ants.
Yeah.
I don't mind snakes and spiders. Ants, I fucking hate, and mice.
Yeah.
But so I'm in there. I got my favourite Kiss t-shirt on, which was a vintage one, like the hat that Noddy got me. That's from 77. That one.
Yeah.
And all I could say was like, they're going to like, oh, we're going to have to cut your shirt. I said, don't cut my Kiss shirt. You know, and they're like, dude. Anyway, they started cutting it. All these massive ants came out, and I was covered in bites from ants because I was fucked up. I was in the ambulance, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I saw a lady at the end of the thing that was touching my leg and everything.
Fuck.
The nurses used to come in every night, and they'd touch my leg, the old nurses.
Yeah.
And I'd say to them, why do you do that? And she said, because, love, when someone's going to die, you can feel it. It gets like this cheesy sort of feeling. So they were in there all the time.
Just checking on
another ghost story. I said to her, there was this old bloke used to walk past all the time. Everyone's going to think I'm tripping out, but I'm not. And he had striped blue pajamas, old bloke, silver hair, and you'd look in. And I said to this woman, I said, who's that guy that keeps on walking past? The old bloke, I waved to him, he doesn't say anything. She goes, oh, no, I don't know what you're talking about. So one of the old nurses came in, the one that when I was having a really bad seizure, she pulled my tongue out. And, she said, I said to her, who's that old bloke that keeps on walking past? I keep on seeing him. And I say, how you going, mate? At night time, he doesn't see me. She goes, oh, that's Mr. Wilkinson. He doesn't know he's dead yet.
Oh, shit.
How's that?
Wow.
So, yeah, Tracy, her name was, I think. And I was like, fucking hell. So
that's full on.
Yeah. So I've seen some weird shit in hospitals like that. But I think it's because when I was a kid, my mum and dad never shut that shit down.
Yeah.
Because you get deep, they say, oh, that's only something you see in your head.
Yeah.
I never did that to my kids. Like my son said to me, we lived in this really old house that was a geologist for the snowy scheme. So the higher you went up the mountain, the more higher up you were in the snowy scheme.
Yeah.
And his office became my son Jack's room.
Yeah.
And he said to me, Daddy, who's that old man that sits on my end of the bed? He looks cranky. And I talk to him at night, but he won't talk back.
Yeah.
Next morning, moved him out.
Fuck, yeah, that's full. Dude, we'll
Sorry, mate.
We'll probably do like a ghost episode.
Yeah.
But I'll tease this. I actually lived, when I was a kid, in a house that was 100 years old when I lived in it.
Yep.
And it was one of the first houses in this small town I lived in. And before it was just a residence, where it was first built, it was actually a doctor who used to work from home.
Oh.
And he used to do fucking surgeries and shit.
Oh, dear.
In the front room of the house.
Yeah, right, fuck.
And I used to see
How many people died in there?
Well, it wasn't just that. He had maids that worked there. One of the maids killed herself in the cellar.
I got to put this in my book.
And
keep going.
And that's who you would see in the fucking house, this maid.
Would she check on you?
Oh, no, she would fucking, like, stick the head out, look down the hallway.
Yeah.
So it
wasn't like a recorded haunting.
No, it was
a
fucking
active, interactive one.
And the other one was, they used to always go through this, because our bedroom, my brother and I, we used to share a room, and
Does your brother have a beard?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, okay, good.
And she would come in and check on us, and then fuck off. And we'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, man, fuck.
And, like, the problem was, we didn't... I'll get into it more on the actual episode.
Yeah, because I want to tell you about the old place we lived in, one of the oldest houses in Tweed.
Yeah, so she... And here's the other thing.
Oh, goosebumps.
Yeah, dude, if you would look... So, in the cellar...
Oh, I can't wait to hear this story.
In the cellar...
Yeah.
There was this...
Not many places have a cellar, eh?
Yeah, and dude, at the back of the cellar, there was a brick wall.
Yeah.
They punched a hole in the brick wall because they needed to do some maintenance under the house.
Yeah.
and you could fucking just look. There was a gap under the house about this much, and it'd never been explored before. And there was rumours that might have been where people ended up if the surgeries failed.
Or abortions.
Anything like that.
Yeah, babies.
Because that was considered surgery back then. It was just a regular procedure, you know? The old egg beater. They used to just Yeah. No shit. And it was dentistry and everything. And my uncle actually had...
What town was this?
This is in a small country town out central west New South Wales called Granville. And in this small town...
Was it a train station town?
Yeah. It was
so he would have been busy.
/ gold mining as well.
So like
bit everything.
Yeah.
Here's another interesting part of it. This fucking town is... The Aboriginals never settled there because they said it was haunted.
Yeah. Mate, they fucking know. It's like they never used to go out around the Cotter area and that because that was hairy man territory.
Yeah.
Jindin Mountain, Jindin, all means hairy man.
Yeah.
Same thing. So what happened there? So how long did you live out there for? Did you tell your mum and that? What did they say?
Yeah, so this is the interesting part. They seen it and said, we won't tell the kids, we don't want to scare them.
Of course, yep.
My brother and I seen it and said the same thing to about our parents. And then one day, it got the better of both of us and we just told each other and our stories lined up.
Yeah.
Fucking creepy.
How old were you then?
My brother and I are probably about 6 and 7.
Yeah, fuck. And that's when you're at the age where, I believe, and because, you know, I've got 4 kids.
Yeah.
Where you're in between, so you're closer to your last life.
Yeah.
Like Jack said to me, this is what my son Jack, said to me, Dad, what happened to my old daddy? I said, what do you mean? He goes, I had a daddy before you. And I'm like, oh, did you? And I said, what do you look like? And he said, oh, he had black hair and he had a beard and he was nice. So I just thought, wow, you know, like, is that last life stuff? Because I used to quiz my kids all the time about that sort of shit.
So I've kind of got a creepy theory. This is like totally fucking like, just like a theory.
Hit me with it.
When, you know how people are born and they're like, you know how people that are gay are like, I feel like a chick.
Yeah.
I actually think they might have been a chick in a previous life.
Oh, okay.
And that's kind of the remnants of that.
Yeah,
like,
right.
It's like their soul maybe like identify as a female, right?
Yeah.
And it's just in a different body. Like, that's
my
my theory.
Because, you know, I've met kids that say that, you know, I want to be a girl.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean?
I went to school with a kid.
Yeah.
That said to me, he's just like, oh, you know, I used to like wearing dresses when I was a girl. And I was like, fuck, that's weird. And now, trans.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, as an
and
adult.
like a mate of mine said to me once, why are you so fucking open to that shit? Because I got like a gay cousin and all that. And I said to him, mate, because it was really shit me off that he was a bit homophobic.
Yeah.
I said to him, mate, imagine going through your whole fucking life hiding who you really are.
Yeah, well,
and he's like, what do you mean? I said, well, look at you. You know, you are who you are. Yep. You're not afraid to do it. I said, imagine being afraid your whole life, hiding who you really are and pretending to be someone else. I said, that'd be fucked. Yeah. And his whole paradigm shifted.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I've said to other people, and they don't do it, but like it is that whole thing. I like that theory. That's a good one.
Well, I actually said to people, I said to someone, I'm like, you like girls, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if I told you now you need to like guys as much as you like girls.
Yeah.
That puts it in perspective for them, right? You know, so it all changes. I need to wrap it on that because my GoPro's about to die. But
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you that we're wrapping it up.
Yeah.
But I'll tell the story next time of the oldest house we lived in. It used to be a post office and a house where, you know, travelling nurses and that used to stay, like a lodging house. Got moved to the Tweed.
Yeah.
We moved into it and it was haunted by a kid who died of polio. We used to hear him going, dun, 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 dun. We'd go downstairs and we'd hear him running up and down the hall.
Yeah.
Our dogs would bark at things, doors would slam. First night we were there, we put all these beautiful hanging plants up in the house.
Yeah.
And my friend said, Nicole said, night bear. I said, night Nicole. Next minute, we go out, all the pot plants are on the fucking floor.
Holy shit.
Oh, there's way more to that. But anyway, I'll tell you about it next time.
I've got more about my 100-year-old house. Yeah,
we could fill a whole thing.
Yeah, let's get into another one next time. But thanks heaps for being on the show, man.
Mate, I'm stoked.
Yeah, first of a few to come, man.
I hope so.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks everyone for listening in. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Make sure you share it and
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, keep your ears out for the next one.
Yep.
Cheers.
And Watson's stoked too.
Yeah, look at him. Settled down.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Don't buy me a drink. Just name names.
Yeah, right. Big Tony. You'll get fucking thrown out of the strip club with your floppy disk.
All day.
Make people feel shamed for shit all day.
Don't blow
Turn
it.
it into a hard drive.
Yeah, right. You'll get fucking weird
Keep it simple. Count your money.
That they're not proud of.
Just give me $10.
All right.